Hey, and welcome back to It's New. I'm Barry Schwartz. With me is just Mordy and Greg Finn. Thanks for being here. We have some things to talk about. Finn, what are you talking about?
Advertisers don't have too much negative to talk about with some new Google Ads negative keyword changes.
And Mordy?
On the level, Google says it's on the level with algorithmic improvements.
And I'll be talking about AI overviews, placing links at the top.
Okay, there was an announcement yesterday from Ginny Marvin over on Twitter, and there were 4 changes that are coming to the way that Google Ads is going to work. And the first one is that we might see more terms showing up not in the other bracket, because Google is going to take a handful of misspellings and sort of attribute them all back to the word that was misspelled. And she said there was going to be about 9% more search terms that we'll see. And you won't see those misspelled words, but you'll see the word that was misspelled. So anytime you get more data back, that's great for advertisers. Another huge thing is when you buy a keyword in Google Ads, you get the misspellings of them. But when you negate a keyword, you still have to negate every misspelling until now, because negative keywords will block misspellings as well. So that's a big deal too. And then the third item that we've got is there's now something called brand inclusion. If you had used so hard in my brain. If you used brand restrictions before, it's now called brand inclusions, and there's still brand exclusions. So if you want to make a branded campaign, you can use brand inclusion. There's very niche ways that this would be very helpful for advertisers. If you're trying to get them to a different landing page, you can target different things. But the restriction is now called brand inclusions, and it's going across a variety more campaigns. And then lastly, that's the last thing, is you can have brand exclusions across all match types. So if you want to say, I don't want branded anywhere, you can have it across all match types and DSAs.
I'm just happy that you guys were happy because it's been a while since we actually saw any advertisers using Google Ads happy with any new announcements. So I'm glad you guys are smiling and you guys are going to hopefully benefit from this. So
what a day. What a day.
Yay. And then Mordy, I know you want to talk about some scales.
Yeah, because Google put their thumb on the scale, but is it heavy enough? Google's Danny Sullivan said on X that there's clearly more we should be doing, talking about ranking websites that deserve to be actually ranking them. He said that it's not something that's new. They've talked about this before. He's seen all the feedback, yada, yada, yada. And that they can't change things on a site level. It has to be done algorithmically through the entire ranking system. And obviously, that's going to mean there's going to be things that slip through the cracks and nothing is perfect. I agree. I think sometimes SEOs get a little bit oh, there's a mistake over here. And it's an algorithm. There's going to be gaps in an algorithm. But I do think at the same time, though, it's funny, he's saying there's things we need to do that need to be improved. But there's never any specifics with that. So for example, just imagine, I'm not saying Google's saying this, but let's say imagine they said, look, we want more experience-based content. We're just having a hard time figuring that algorithmically. I think that would actually be a good thing for Google to do, because imagine that you're writing this experience-based content and you're not seeing it rank, and you don't know, is it coming? Is Google going to get this? Are they even working to get this? They say they want this, but I don't know where it's at. But if they were a little more transparent about what is and what isn't working, obviously you can't be overly detailed because people will manipulate it. But say we're trying to do X, we're not there yet, but we're working on it. Would at least say to people who are trying to write this better content, okay, they're not there yet, but I know they're at least trying to get there, so I'm okay skating towards the puck kind of thing. Whereas I feel the general thing, we're working on it, it's not there yet, it'll get there, it kind of falls on deaf ears a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully you're buckled up. I mean, because it's been almost several months of buckled up. And it's just funny that Danny Sullivan made that comment back at Brighton then, and then he had to repeat that comment because we're still making changes. That being said, I do agree with your point about giving us some insight. And Google does. If I don't know if you check Gabe's blog, Spirit Interactive, gsqi.com. He posted a really interesting post this morning, basically around how Google's telling you in their ad experience report that your site's fine, but yet, as Glenn has said numerous times, if you have ads all over the place, it could actually impact you with search quality. And a lot of sites that are passing that ad experience report actually are doing really poorly with search quality because they have ads everywhere. So it's kind of leading you off in the wrong direction. You're saying, give us some insight, and Google's like, here's some insight, but it's taking you somewhere else. And so I never really thought about that, and I thought that was very interesting. But hopefully soon we'll see some improvements with the next core update, because I do think they see a lot of examples that people are complaining about. Again, some of those examples are not valid, meaning they should not improve, but there are some examples of where they should improve. So we will see with that. And then I will talk about how Google is actually testing something that will make people smile if they actually do end up launching it. So biggest complaint with AI overviews is that people aren't going to click on anything. It's hard to see where the sources are coming from. Greg actually loves the AI reviews as they are, as he said numerous times. He loves that you don't know where the information is coming from.
Not
he
true.
loves that you can't find links.
I heard Greg say that. I corroborate Barry's account
At least a few times.
multiple.
That's why your face is on the screen, so you can see people shaking. He's saying, "No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't." In any event, Google is actually testing placing the actual link cards at the top of the AI overviews, and then you only see like a few words of the actual AI overview in this screenshot from Bartos from ZipTie, who has a really great, cool tool to track these AI overviews. I actually asked Google, "Is this legit? Is Bart making this up?" Google said, it is legit. It actually is testing this, which is pretty cool. And they did not commit to launching this. They just basically said this is a test. But I really do hope they launch this, because it brings back the purpose of Google Search to show you where the sources are. And I think this is great. And if they do launch this, I think this will give people a way to actually include some type of ad systems in there. So it will be interesting to see that going forward. Greg, you a fan of them?
I think it's an improvement. I still would love it if you knew where the content was coming from. It's still kind of just like a bunch of different items. And my concern would be if you made one main answer from 3 main sources and you have one query, how does that work, I guess? But I still just like the citation part of it in there, but this is an improvement.
Yeah.
I don't understand like one thing that they're saying. Oh, everyone loves the AI overviews. They're the best. But then they lead off with the links. Like, which one is it? Like, is it like people want the links or people want the AI overview?
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to have to test this and see what they think the data shows, and what it's going to be interesting when they come back with. I wonder if they do launch it, but it looks like Crystal joined us. Really nice hat. Thanks for coming here with that hat. Sorry, we did a little bit early. I tried to communicate that, but thanks for joining us. And I think that's it. We're going to end it right here, but thanks for coming.
The shortest appearance ever.
See you guys on Monday.
Cameo, really.